Hey everyone, it's Zara, and it has been a long time since I filmed a video. I think the last time I filmed a video, it was at least a year and a half, 2 years. And so I wanted to come back in and film a video on my reading journal. That's something that I've been really interested in lately. I've been reading a lot lately, and I've really been enjoying watching other people's videos as well. So it's kind of my reading journal, how I set it up, as well as what I've been reading and what I read in the month of January. So I have two journals. Um, the one journal is more or less where I track my challenges, my yearly progress. And then my other journal is where I track my monthly progress. So this is a monthly happy planner, monthly layout happy planner. So it just has the month pages as well as some note pages. And eventually at the end of the year, I will probably end up combining the two, and just saving it, for memories. But for now, they live in two planners. So, first of all, I have my yearly, I don't know what you call these pages, but more or less, I was just using them to track what I was reading and how long it took me to finish the book. And just because the arrow goes, all of these days, doesn't necessarily mean that I read the book all of those days. I mean, you can see I read multiple books at a time because I'm generally listening to at least an audiobook and reading a physical book or a Kindle book at the same time. Then you get into my kind of currently page. This is just where I put my monthly stats. So here I have pictures printed out for all of my books that I read this month. I also have my favorite book listed, how many pages I read, and then how many books I read. And the pages are a little bit subjective just because I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, but I figured that pages are still a good way to track overall how much I'm reading, even though it's technically listening to some of them. Then in the January monthly spread, I just grabbed some stickers. I think these are from Creating and Co., the Happy Planner, and then I have some Simply Gilded washi, just to mark when I started and finished books, kind of similar to what I had before without all the arrows and the lines. But you'll see, when I started and finished books. I also have two books that I started, but I haven't finished yet in this month. That's why they're kind of that grayed out label, also because I ran out of the black. But just have those in there as well, just so I can kind of keep an eye on things. Then in this page, I do want to try to figure out what else I can put in this page in the future. But for now, I really like these habit trackers. I have one to mark just whether I picked up a book or an audiobook. Then I have if it was a book or if it was an audiobook. So just reading in general, was it reading words off of a page or listening to it? And so I really like how that turned out, and just kind of keeping an eye on, how things are going. A lot of days you'll notice that I read I read a book and I listened to an audiobook. Generally, when I drive to work, I listen to an audiobook. Generally, at lunch, I read a book on my Kindle or on my phone. So that's why you have a lot of crossover, and that's why I'm usually reading multiple books at the same time. Then I have the January bingo from the Shelfie Chronicles. She is doing a monthly bingo challenge each month in her Facebook group. So you buy the stickers and then you have to have started and finished the book in the month of January for it to count towards the bingo. But then she's giving away prizes. So, the first person to get a bingo gets a prize, and then the first person to get a blackout also gets a prize. And then anyone else that participates gets entered in for a drawing at the end of the year, I believe. So that was just kind of fun, and it also gave me more ideas about what to read. And then the next couple of pages are just notes on, like this is all the bingo prompts, so what books might fit those. Then I also have books that I'm currently, or at that time had checked out from the library. I use the Libby app a lot. And then just kind of making notes about what kind of challenges they could fit under. And you'll see in my next planner or in my next journal that I have all of those challenges in there. So then here's where I have, more of the substance. And like I said, the yearly trackers, the challenge trackers, etc. So the first thing I have is a Goodreads tracker, again from the Shelfie Chronicles. And this one I'm just using to track, what kind of book I finished and in what order. So we have, audiobooks, Kindle books, and then not pictured because I didn't read any this month because I was traveling a lot, like a physical book from my bookshelf from the library. And so I thought those were, kind of a good way to track it out. And then, at the end of the year, then I also have how many books I read at a glance as well. Then I have the monthly review. This is a printable from Plan with Elise, and it just has how many books I read and then those pages, and then I'll fill it out so I can see it all in one place. This is another printable from Plan with Elise. We have the 50 books and the 100 books. I got this one first, and then I got the Goodreads tracker from the Shelfie Chronicles, so I'm not sure I'll be using this one this year, but I thought I could also do a similar thing with the little icons if I wanted to on here as well, or I could always just color them in, but yet to be determined if I'm actually going to use those. So then I have my book trackers, so how many books I read, what I thought of them, how what dates I read them, genre, pages, or if it's an audiobook, I also put in how many minutes and hours it took to listen to the book. So the first one I have is The Tourist Attraction. This was a romance. I've been reading more romance this year just because of another challenge I have from the Shelfie Chronicles, where they're all romance based. Usually I'm more of like a mystery person, but this one was just a cute, like a vacation to Alaska. She's very unlucky and gets into a lot of situations, and then there's a local who doesn't really like tourists, even though he runs a cafe restaurant and makes all of his money off of the tourists. So it was cute. I gave it 3 stars. Not my favorite, but it was cute. Then we gave Meet Me in the Margins 4 stars. This one was she works at a publishing house, and for like a nonfiction publishing house, but she wants to be a romance author, and it's her passing back and forth this manuscript with a mystery person, and getting comments and feedback to improve her book so that she can get it published. So like I said, 4 stars on that one. Then we have The Girl in the Ice. This one I picked solely because of the January bingo prompt for a book that has ice in the title, but I really enjoyed this one. It's about like a detective novel, hunting down a serial killer, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And it's the first of a series where he has other books with this detective, and so I think I'll probably read more of those in the future. And that was 4 stars as well. Then we have American Royals. This one was, what if George Washington didn't become president but became king, and it's his ancestors, or I guess it's his descendants, who are going through a lot of like teenage drama and love triangles and all of that, kind of stuff. Gave it 3 stars. I thought it was really good. A little repetitive, but it was cute. I listened to it as an audiobook and really enjoyed it. My favorite book this month, which you would have seen in my January spread, was Joyland. This one was a Stephen King novel, which I've only ever read one other Stephen King novel, but this one was not really like creepy, I wouldn't say. Like there were a couple of parts, but this one was just, it was really good. It was kind of like a coming of age story about this man who works at a theme park, like kind of like a Coney Island kind of theme park for the summer. And it's just kind of like a coming of age. There's a little mystery in there, but I really enjoyed that one. And it wasn't very long either, because sometimes Stephen King books can be a little bit daunting. Then we have If the Shoe Fits. This one was another 5-star read, so both of those were my 2 5 stars for this month. If the Shoe Fits was kind of a twist on a Cinderella story, meets The Bachelor, and so it was just really, it was cute. She's like an aspiring fashion designer, just graduated from design school, and then she gets onto the Bachelor type program called Meet Me at Midnight, or something like that, something to do with midnight. And so it was just really cute, and so I really enjoyed that one. There's other books in the series, not with the same characters, but other plays on like Disney classics, and I think Disney produced this book. So really enjoyed it, would recommend it, especially if you like romance. And then the last book I read in the month of January was 5 Days at Memorial. This one was really interesting. I picked it because, again, it was fitting a prompt for my January bingo. But it was all about Hurricane Katrina and the 5 days that people were stuck at this hospital, and whether or not, some of the doctors made decisions to euthanize some of their patients, rather than like abandon them or evacuate them. And it was just really interesting. It was a long book, 558 pages, and obviously there was a lot of research that went into it. So it was a little bit dense. I gave it 4 stars just because it there was a lot to it, but it was also really good. Yeah, no, I really liked it. And then I just saw that it was like a series that they made, so I needed to see if I could check that out. And then I have my first book for February that I just finished, but I wanted to fill out before I forgot. And then this next section is all of my challenges. So a lot of these challenges are from this year. So I have Around the Year in 52 Books, the 52 Book Club, the 2023 Pop Sugar Challenge, and most of these, or at least all of these so far, have been the Shelfie Chronicles, the Barnes & Noble Challenge for 2023, the 2023 Buzzword Challenge. This one was just like an easy, if you have trouble completing reading challenges, this is like a simple, anyone can complete it kind of reading challenge. Also from the Shelfie Chronicles. I have Read the Screen, which is like, if you're trying to read books that also have a movie. I haven't put any in here yet because I'm not exactly sure what ones I'm going to read. Then I have Read Your Shelf, which I have sticky notes for because I haven't read any physical books yet this year, and I feel like these should all be books that are books from my actual collection, not from the library, or not audiobooks. And then I also have, like you'll see, I have Read Your Shelf. This one is the 2022 version. I actually discovered the Shelfie Chronicles like in August, and so I bought a bunch of her stickers, but then I didn't want to use them, and so I kind of have like a ton of challenges, because most of them repeat every year, or the people who coordinate them repeat them every year. Then we have Read the States. This one is reading a book that meets each of the states. So like Alaska was the tourist attraction. Then we have the Pop Sugar 2022 challenge, Around the Year in 52 Books from 2022, 52 books in 52 weeks. Then I have A to Z Reading Challenge. So again, books that start with each letter of the alphabet. Then I have a couple of stickers from Peanut Butter Taco. This is a thriller challenge, so it just gives you different prompts. And then a romance challenge. Read the Rainbow. Again, this is from Peanut Butter Taco. So each cover that has like predominant color in it. So I have a couple there. And then the last one I have, I think, in this section is the Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter in the Order of the Planners, I believe, is the Facebook group. But then the stickers are from the Sticker Party, and she's located in Canada. But they have usually a Harry Potter challenge that they do each year. And so this one is like Quidditch World Cup themed. So you have like the Firebolt contains a special gift. Quidditch Throughout the Ages, a historical fiction. So that one's pretty fun as well. And so, with all these challenges, when I read a book, I try to go through each of the challenges and see what I can mark off for it. Some are easier to mark off than others, and some, don't necessarily. Some books don't fit anything in a prompt for the challenge, um, but but yeah, I try to go through and see what I can do, and it's kind of I'm gonna read whatever I want to read, but it also kind of gives you some ideas about set in Australia. Maybe I'm interested in reading a book in Australia, or I hadn't thought about it. Then it just kind of gives you ideas as well. Not that I'm gonna complete them all by any means, but it'll be fun to see at the end of the year how many I complete or what my progress was on them. Then I have the romance challenge that I was talking about from the Shelfie Chronicles. She has another bingo. This is a year-long bingo, and I think it's every 2 weeks until a certain day. She pulls one prompt, and basically, you're trying to go for a bingo, and then if you call the bingo, you have to have the last prompt pulled. So, if I was trying to get a bingo here, and I had everything filled except for one, the week that she calls the one is when I would have to call my bingo, if that makes sense at all. But it's a lot of fun. Last year she did Sweatpants and Spice and Twist and Doubt. This year she's just doing Sweatpants and Spice, which is why I'm not reading or trying to read more romance novels, even though I'm more of like a mystery girl at heart. And then here are all the prompts laid out. You're not going to have all of, I think there's 30 possible prompts, and then obviously your bingo card only fits 25. So, and then these are the bingo daubers so that you can just mark off the bingo with these little stickers. So really like that, and hoping that I'll get a bingo this year. But again, she does prizes and all of that, so it's a lot of fun, and again, just tries to get you to read things that maybe you wouldn't, which is why I like some of these challenges. This is a book bingo from Plan with Elise. I haven't filled it out. Not sure if I'll use it this year or not. Same with the Bookopoly, also from the Shelfie Chronicles. Kind of a Monopoly version where you roll the dice and determine your next read. Probably don't need to use it yet, but I do have it in here. And then I also have Book Tetris, which is a lot of people will use these to mark like different what do you call it? Like different themes of books, or like romance, mystery, etc. And try to mark it in that way, just so that they're not just reading one genre all the time. But again, I'm not sure if I'll use this or not, but I do have it in here just because I like all of the stickers. But I think I have enough challenges to keep me busy for this month or for this year. So anyways, that is my reading journal. I hope you enjoyed, kind of my overview, what I read, and what I'm going to be doing for this year. And like I said, I hope to come back each month and talk about what books I'm reading and what my progress is on my journal. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will just talk to you in my next video. Bye now.